I gotta stop doing that. So, all right, welcome back to Less Cash, More Mash. My name's Tom.
And my name's Mike.
All right, so today we are doing InverHouse Scotch. Now, this one's near and dear to me because when I first stopped drinking beer, when I was traveling around the country and I was looking to just have a bottle of drink out of it, and I didn't want to have cans that I carried around the country, I started drinking this. It was very commonly found. It's $14.99 for a 1.75 liter, and I found it had a decent flavor, decent taste, and it was the cheapest bottle that I could find out there. So this was like my go-to one. InverHouse Scotch, I believe it's 80 proof. So we had a little controversy when we were looking up. We had different information that popped up. So if I'm giving fun facts that aren't true, you know that, you can let me know. But I'm pretty sure what I found is what I found. So it was first launched in 1956. It's they used a blend of over like 20 different distilleries. There was like 6 or 9 main ones you had said originally of their finest Scotch whiskeys that they blended from all these different ones in order to make this.
Which is funny, all that work for a plastic handle.
Exactly, and for a cheap plastic handle at that. So, and then I had information on a distillery that I'm not 100% sure that it was affiliated with because, again, you can only find so much stuff on the internet that is true. But I know that they had said that it was affiliated with the Bel Blair distillery, and that one of their oldest archives go back all the way from January 25th, 1800. So, and they used to release it by like a vintage date, but I don't ever remember an age statement on any of these when I bought it and stuff. I just remember it saying blended whiskey and stuff like that. But now they try to go towards like the, of the dates. But there's supposedly blends of crazy years that are involved, 12 year, 15, 25 in the blend with probably a 3-day one, So I just remember it being and we'll see. I haven't had Scotch in a while. Well, we had the J&B, so it's a little reference point. And that was one of the things that I had said. I wanted to get one of these because this was my 10 high. This was my go-to bottle when I first started in Scotch. So, my thing was for $15, am I now going to pay, I think that one was $30, and some of the Scotches are up there too. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to get
Scotch is way up there.
Some of them are crazy money. You know what I mean? But so I just wanted to see, is it that much better, or do I want to have? But again, this is not a bourbon.
It's definitely not a bourbon.
Nope. And it, like on the smell, you get that smoke right off the bat. That's what I tried to.
I guess
the first time you
that's
had
what it is, then that's what it is.
When the first now see, and this is going to go back to the same thing I said about J&B. You don't smell like, to me.
There's
you get
no
that,
fruit.
No,
no vanilla.
No, there's no caramel. Nope. You get medicinal. It almost smells like a wet Band-Aid. I'm telling you. That's what it smells like. Cause that's that smoke. You don't get that?
No. I get
it. It really is.
It's not even like it. You know what? It's kind of weird, but it is kind of that. It's not friendly. It's
no. It's like, oh damn it! I just walked in the doctor's office, and then you get like the medicinal smell. You get that. There is no. That's why I switched to bourbon.
And how do you sell that? Obviously, it sells.
Scotch lovers. You know what? You know why? Because Scotch and cigars are like hand and foot. And when you're smoking a cigar, you get that nasty smoke. We're not smokers, either one of us. And
you won't see that.
But when you see, if I drink a whole lot, you may see it on never in my house.
If you see me smoking a cigarette or a cigar,
I've done it on special occasions when I get shamed into it. And when I went to the Dominican because they had
it's a boy, it's a girl. Great, there you go.
They had Cubans and stuff. Let me try it. Now see, that it just brought me back. The difference with this. And the reason I switched to bourbon,
weird like little aftertaste.
That's the smoke that sticks on your tongue. I'm telling you, you don't.
It's like a weird before it goes down though. There's like a weird like.
All right, I'll try it again. But I started with this because for $15 you had a flavor and a taste. Now some of the other plastic handles that when you get like the Canadian ones and stuff, they weren't very full of flavor. Like that Lord Cavett actually was pretty good. But some of them that I was drinking that were this cheap.
It's probably easier drinker.
It is when you were just putting it on the ice. Like to me, if you're not mixing it and you put it on, to me it was like
the Lord Calvert, from what I remember,
was an easier
than this. But it
See,
just has like a weird.
I wanted something I could put on the rocks, sitting by a campfire, and this is what I did all summer long. I had my trailer. We went campground to campground. Tammy would make me run all day long, and finally I'd get home at supper time, and I'm like, "Are we done? We're done." Boom! Out would come the bottle, and I would sit by the fire, and I'd light the fire, and I'd sit there, and I just have like casual drinks for the rest of the night.
Fires are nice.
And that's what I would do. I would just sit and chill, and I would sit, and that's where the Kool-Aid cups came in. I would sit by the fire. If you dropped it, it doesn't matter. They're plastic, and I would it's the perfect size. It had nice, and I would just sit and sip on the rocks all night long.
So, to those that asked, what are these cups all about?
Oh, those are my travel cups.
The cups were actually, for those that old enough to remember, Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid man.
It's actually real Kool-Aid guys on the cups.
I think it when my stepson was
know
little
where you got
back
them,
then. We've had them. I had a set of 6: 3 blue, 3 yellow. 3 pink. Because back in the day you could do blue and pink and it actually meant something. But so nowadays it doesn't. And other than to set off wildfires, because that's what people do with that blue and pink.
Nowadays it's like this.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. It's a unisex cup.
We are everything in this channel.
But these were my Kool-Aid cups. These actually hit all 50 states. I shouldn't say that, 48 continental states. I didn't take them with me when I went to Alaska and stuff like that. But they were in a trailer and they stayed in Seattle when we took the cruise to Alaska and everything. But they didn't go on a plane with me to Hawaii. But these traveled the country. These have hit all my things. And this is my vacation cup. So like my friends in Georgia.
So you see them sitting there.
That's what they are.
This is a finger hook. Because when he got too silly.
Well, it is. When you're sitting by the fire, sometimes you get sleepy, and you're out there for a while. It was just what I drank. It was the perfect size, and it was.
It's almost a Glencairn.
It really is.
It's opposite Glencairn shape, but I bet you actually get a pretty good flavor.
You put a nice little.
Nice smell out of it.
I actually was getting more smell in the very beginning doing it with them than the mason jars.
I bet you did.
Because when I was home, I would drink out of the mason jars, but then I started like. Someone was going to yell at me like, "You can't drink whiskey out of a plastic cup." But this was my vacation cups. That's what those were.
We'll have to try it.
And you can. We try it on the next video. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, actually, we should put it. Was it what? Which one? What are we on?
Oh, you want it? You know what? Hold on. While we're doing this,
we'll do another.
No,
yeah, there you go.
Let's do it with
Put
the
it in a
JB.
plastic
Just so you can have a reference point on.
A smell.
Yeah. Just so you can see like. This is why I went to this one.
Do a splash.
Because this
I'll
one...
do pink. I'll do pink.
I'll do pink. How's that?
I
don't want you to think that...
No. It's all good.
It don't matter to me. Here, you can be blue.
I like pink.
I'll be pink. So, in all reality, I had never had the J&B. This was my go-to one.
It smells not that much different.
I'm telling you, that's why I used to buy it. For the $14.99... And again, I got a few friends that are even watching this, and they're laughing at me because they know I'm just like, they're like, "Really, Tom? You're drinking out of a plastic jug and it's cheap for $14.99."
We had to explain the cups. This was the picture to start. And
really, like,
it's not
I'm
even.
Telling you, I'm gonna take a sip of the J&B.
Smell wise, I don't know.
So the J&B, rightfully so, has a better tongue feel. It actually coats your mouth a little bit better. It has more of the smoke flavor.
This cup's a little hard to drink out of because it comes right at you.
It's not
halfway up my cheeks. But
well, that was the problem. It used to go right down, and you could stuff ice cubes in here.
This one's a little slow.
Yeah.
This one comes right at you, but flavor-wise, it's not.
6 of one, half a dozen another. You go ahead and try that one again. This is why I drank that one. When I was looking at some scotches, like
no one's gonna believe you. You know
I'm telling you straight up, this is $14.99. You go buy a bottle of this and you buy a bottle of that. And you drink them side by side. You tell me which one's different. They're pretty close.
Other than this cup, it lets it come right at you. But
they're pretty close.
No, it's very close.
The $30 one may have a little bit better tongue feel. Maybe. Let me try it again.
I don't even know about that.
To me, I think it has a little bit, it actually has a stronger punch in the face. Like it has almost more of a punch. I wonder what the proof is on this one.
I think they're the same.
40% by, 80.
They're both the same.
80. So,
maybe a little more smokier flavor.
It has more smoke. It has a more smoke
there.
on the smell and in the taste.
Smell-wise, I don't know. They're pretty damn close.
And that might be the cup, though.
I don't know.
This cup doesn't smell bad though, does it? You get a decent smell out of it. That's why I used to say that. But
I kind of like the open part sometimes.
again, these were my favorite
This is
cups.
almost like-
These were my travel cups. These were my favorite. And Wanda, if she's watching,
we had
down
to-
in
we
Georgia,
had to
she wanted to take them because who sees these? I mean, they're antiques. They're probably worth money at this point.
Yeah, somebody's probably saying,
You know,
I'll auction these off.
I do like the flavor
I don't
and the
even know.
taste.
They're not far off.
That's why I used to drink it. I'm telling you, $14.99, you cannot beat this for a deal. Now, there are other ones, and we have one over here, that are going to be close and similar, but for the price, this is why I used to buy that one. Or in a couple of them on the shelf, and you got another one.
That one is actually, you can feel a little more alcohol in that one, or you feel the...
It feels like
little more of a
it
heat.
feels like it's more hot.
This is easier.
This
drinker.
one's, that's what I'm saying. The more expensive one feels like you're drinking hot.
It does.
And this one is just like, hello, I'm just drinking
the
away.
fragrance is the same. Pretty close.
This one, I will give credit. I think they have more smoke flavor in the more expensive one, if that's what you're looking for in a Scotch. But to me, this was a nice, subtle hint of smoke, decent flavor, short money. Because I couldn't find a bourbon under $20 until I found 10 High, and then that was one of the first ones that I found
is
that
more-
actually tasted.
Of a tingle in that.
It feels like you're drinking hotter.
Excuse me.
It drinks hotter. It feels like
It
there's
does.
more alcohol,
This is,
but it's not.
This is way right. They're both the same.
And that's
But
the
this is
funny
an
thing.
easier drinker as far as.
So
I don't know.
So the J&B might be a little bit better on ice because it would hold that heat a little more, unless you're looking for a soft drinker. And then this was my ideal Scotch when I used to drink it. To me, for the price, you couldn't beat it.
No.
And it traveled well in a trailer if they're bouncing around, and I had, say, maybe 15 of them in my closet, which happened on occasion when I leave. Because up here is cheap. Sometimes you go in other places. This bottle right here in New York, when we were downtown New York, was $31 for this bottle right here. And I'm like,
Well, it's probably the same when you went to Rhode Island.
no, I know. Yeah, you go anywhere near Newport, it's expensive and stuff like that. But it was just funny to me. I'm like, I am not buying a bottle that I can buy 2 for 1, you know? But smell-wise...
And I guess commend Total Wine because now they don't really play that game.
Because they're all over... Yeah, see, and I've never...
They kind of just...
Uniformed it.
We don't have a plug or we don't have anything with them. It's just when you shop, it doesn't matter what area you're at. It's all kind of the same. Prices vary a little bit, but not like your local. If you go to Newport or like you go to downtown New York, or you even probably go to downtown Boston, it's going to be higher than where we live.
It's kind of like Pennsylvania too. It's state run with their liquor because they have liquor places you can't buy.
Well, that's Maine. Maine does that.
Well,
too.
Pennsylvania does it too. So it's kind of uniform. Like when I've ever bought there, because no matter where in Pennsylvania, I got to give J&B credit though. They do have more flavor and taste. But like right off that first sip, because this one's good, but I think this one just has a little more oomph when you're drinking it.
It does have a little more oomph.
It has a little more happiness, like a little more flavor and a little more stuff. Is it $30? Like, is it worth twice of it? No. That's why I bought these. Like, to me, this is a good drinker. That's a little bit better, but it's twice the money. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to discredit them. But when you're going to go like...
It has way more smoky flavor, I think.
It does.
It does.
It does. And if that's what you're looking for, you're not going to like this. Like some of the
right. If you want an easier drinker,
it's that
this would be
correct.
For the money, and especially if you're going to mix it with something.
This is to me, it was the perfect introduction to a Scotch whiskey where you got that smoke, but it wasn't an overbearing pounding
smoke. This is way more smoke.
It was a lot more.
Yeah.
And to me, this was a nice little happy introduction to you're getting
and probably a quiet taste.
Smoke. Well, it is different. Like if you would drink Makers and you come to this, you're like, this tastes like dirt. You know what I mean? Because it does give you that. Again, to me, when you're saying
like
caramel well, that's just it. I just smoked a thing of bologna on Ryan's.
And
I didn't put it on the channel this time, but
you have that flavor.
You get that smoke
versus not so much here.
No, right. This is stronger.
Yeah.
The J&B has a lot more. And to
both
me,
of us have smokers, and we both experiment on different things in what we do. But he just did a bologna, and I just tried it, and it has that flavor. Or that smell and flavor when you sip it. After it goes down, you get that after.
And I will get, you gotta give him credit. The tongue feel, the taste, the finish, the whole, it sits in your mouth longer, it coats your tongue longer. It's a better, more refined version of this, but it's twice as much money too. And there's probably better ones than both of them.
And you say refined, is it? Or
well, to me,
this is an easier drinker. This one is an easier drinker. If you were a new person drinking Scotch,
I'd say this one.
I agree,
Because
you wouldn't be turned off.
I agree. Yes.
And from what I remember, I've done Glenlivet.
See, I've never had any of the real fancy ones.
Whatever the Glenlivet, and
I don't remember.
I never acquired that taste, and it was just because it was a cool thing to do, and I had the money at the time, and I tried them, and for me, but now that we've started this, and I'm not drinking it with ginger ale or Coke. We'll see. I
wanted to bring us back to this, and that's why I mentioned this one, because this was my starting point. So now, like, I wanted to do it before we did the J&B, because this is your introduction. To me, this was the introduction to Scotch. This gives you that base flavor. And now it's like, is it worth twice the money or 3 times the money? Or depending on what you find on it, is it really worth that much more? Or do you get a handle for $14.99? Like, that was the thing with me.
And everybody's going to be in a different category on that. You know, it's going to be.
It goes back to, okay, I go get a 12-year whatever, and I take my first glass of that, and then I finish the rest of the night. Well, I finish the rest of the night with this, because you already got, you know what I mean? Because once you drink a glass of it.
Okay, so if you got, say, a 16-year as a gift and not ever drinking it, you'd probably take a sip of it and go,
what is that? Yeah, exactly.
And then
especially if you're thinking it's going to
mix the whole thing down with whatever you like.
Yep.
Whether it's ginger ale, Coke, orange, grape, doesn't matter. So with that, if you got a gift like that, you would almost want to try this and sip and maybe get that acquired taste a little bit before you go wrecking
now
a $100 bottle of something.
Now that this sat out a lot, you get a lot more of that.
You do.
I like to say, the stinky feet taste at the end, like that, the medicine, like that.
I don't know about the stinky feet.
Now, I'm telling you, you get that medicinal taste. You get that at the end, and that's part of
you
what
get that
Scotch.
Smell,
oh yeah,
you get that. You do get that.
I'm telling you,
you do get that smell.
You get that Band-Aid medicinal taste and smell.
It is different.
But that's what a Scotch is. But this is, again, low smoke, introduction flavors. But
I'm
for
sure
the
master
money,
distiller of any of these high-end ones are going to say it does not taste like
no.
Band-Aid.
They're going to say no.
We're
I
out
bet
to lunch.
you know what, you say that though. But you watch any of the whiskey tube people out there, and when they describing a lot of the Scotches, that's what it carries. It carries that flavor.
Not the dirty Band-Aid.
You're not going to get stinky feet and dirty Band-Aids, but it does give you like a.
It is totally different. If you're
I'm telling you,
a bourbon or a whiskey guy, then yes, this is a whole.
If you
different
smell
flavor.
this, to me, this is like medicinal. That's what I smell. I smell.
It has a like punch, but not an alcohol punch. It has a.
No, I forget. I've never had it, but I've watched like the Whiskey Tribe do like Ardbeg, and they say it. I forget what their terminology, it's basically like it's an assault on your taste buds. Like it's like not even nice.
Jeremy did one as well.
Yeah,
and his wife, and she like despised.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
she's like, I'm all set with this one.
My friend Jimmy that came over on one of my nights,
and we'll try it,
brought something, and he loved it. And I'm telling you, it was so bad I could barely get it in me. And I don't even think I drank it. I'm like, you got to drink this. I don't want to waste it, but it is disgusting because it was so strong. You take this and magnify it by like 3,000. I don't even know if I'm going to like the good Scotches. That's why I wanted to get. This was my base. This is what I used to drink.
Well, so take that.
I do like that though.
Yeah, but then times
like a billion, and I might hate it.
It's a different taste.
That's
I mean, and especially if we stay here.
Even just smelling your empty
I know.
cup.
I've been doing that.
I've been smelling bullet. This has stuff in it, and this empty cup hits me harder.
It does.
It does. That's what I'm saying. So overall,
I've been doing that.
This is why Mike picked it up, and I wanted him. I was gonna go get it, and I mentioned it, but he was at the store, so he grabbed it with a ton of other things.
And
so
had to sample it before it got here.
That's fine. Yep, I've already had it, and that's what I wanted you to know. Like, because you weren't getting the smoke when you first tried it. You can now taste it. You can certainly, when you compare it to all the other ones, you can definitely taste the difference in the flavor, and that's which was good. That's what I wanted. So this, to me, was like that introduction. But for bang for your buck, $14.99 for a handle, I don't think you can beat.
It's a good start.
Yeah, it really is.
You want to be the
if you want to venture,
Scotch, and
if you want to venture into the Scotch land, I think this is a great. You dip your toe in the water type thing. You know,
it's gonna get
stronger.
Yes.
So you don't want to dive right in. You want to kind of wade in, dip your toe, see how warm it is. I think this is perfect for that.
If you start right off with the Glenlivet or Glenlevich,
you might get turned off.
I'm thinking.
I will agree.
You're gonna end up mixing it. And that's what I did. It was. I didn't start off.
See, I remember, it's funny, and I haven't had it since I was 15 years old, and I'm a whole lot older than that now. But I remember I was dating a girl that I might have been a little bit older, maybe 17.
I didn't have Scotch at that age.
Maybe I was 16 or 17. No, one of my girlfriends, she drank Johnny Walker. And she liked Johnny Walker Black, and she was bitching one day because she could only afford Johnny Walker Red. And I'm like, does it really matter? And I took a sip of it, and I was like, nah, they both suck. It doesn't matter. But it was a different. But now that I've drank a lot more, I can honestly say I've never had either one of them.
I will say the one I am despising because I got sick is Southern Comfort.
You know, the funny thing, that's one.
None. It's not up here. It's not even in the vault.
I don't know if they classify that as a whiskey. Though,
I don't know what it is.
Because it has like that flavor. That is the one that
I blame you.
I got seriously ill on too. And it'd almost be funny to get a bottle now. I might have to look. Because you know what? When I used to smell it, I would be like, just like because I got so sick.
It's sweet.
Yeah. No, it was like a candy. It was
anyway,
like
so that was just.
Yeah.
That's not like. I haven't picked it up.
It's not in our grab bag, I can tell you that right now. But there you go. There was this one. We're going to try to go slower, but I babbled on again. InverHouse, this was my go-to. I'll be shocked if we could find one for less money with a decent taste like this. As far as Scotch,
we have one similar,
and that was my second. That was my second one. If I couldn't find this one, I would go with this one.
We'd almost have
so
to
you'll
try
see
that
it in the future, and we'll put them together when we go with them. We'll have to go quicker on that one, but there you go. I will say, if you've never tried this and you want to venture in the land of Scotch, I think this is the best first foot in. You know, nice and easy.
Yeah, it is.
And it to me, it gives you that flavor without blasting you with all the other stuff. But that J&B is actually really good. For $30,
you'll get the smell. It's a totally. If you're thinking you're getting a bourbon smell, you're not going to get a bourbon smell. It's
definitely
more like a oaky or smell, but it's.
You get the smoke.
You'll get
smoke with a medicine in it.
You'll notice when you're doing Scotch. It's
a different Scotch. It's definitely a different. It reminds me of like, okay, sitting by a fire or you're smoking a cigar. I don't smoke cigars, but that's what it reminds me of the like the old. You know, it's what it tastes like you're doing it because they actually smoke one of the barley or the malt, whatever it is in it. They smoke it that's what gives you that smoky flavor on the inside. But I seen them do it on Moonshiners one time. It's actually pretty neat that they have to do.
I guess I got to watch Moonshiners.
Moonshiners is a great show. If you never watched that's what I honestly believe. And you
never done it.
You can say what you want. I honestly believe that's what speared on the whiskey revolution that's going on today. Whiskey is like the new wine, and I really think it opened up people's minds to a forbidden fruit. Because moonshine and whiskey were always a cowboy drink,
but now they're stuck at home.
No, it was way before COVID though. This has been blowing up way. Trust me, I've been buying this for a lot of years.
Yes,
it has expanded. It has expanded.
I think it's gotten bigger because of COVID because now they're home, and they don't get to go after work. Do this, do that.
I think it's just blowing up because it's blowing up. I really do. Again, you got to remember there was a handful of distilleries that made look back. There was Bud Light, a handful of beers, but now there's how many microbrews?
There's a million.
And it's the same thing. There was always the main players in whiskey, and now there is distributors, and there's people that are just taking other people's whiskey and relabeling it and putting it out there.
Even the microbrewers are now making their own.
It's there, and all this new generation is exploring all these new flavors and new things, and which it helps and hurts because, and now you have secondhand where there's a you can't just go buy a bottle. You'll always find InverHouse, trust me on that. But you can't go buy some of the bottle of Buffalo Trace or some of the unique bottles because people are buying them and selling them on the secondary market for 17 times what they were originally cost. So it's a trendy thing besides. So it's whiskey isn't the biker drink anymore. Whiskey is the yuppie drink. Let's be honest. Like the new age kids are all doing it.
They still have their realm.
They do.
They got their, and those prices haven't changed.
That's where Wild Turkey comes in.
Correct.
And God bless them guys. They stay. But you're certain some of them have gone nuts. In the
or saying now this one's 10 times better.
Or like someone like Blanton's that has a fancy little horse and they buy it for say $100 and sell it for $700. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? Because it's a collector's items now. You know what I mean? So it's turning into something. You want to come say hi? So there you go. We babbled on enough for this one. Definitely give it a try. Apologize if we keep running long, but that's what you're going to get. Stories. And once I stop talking, if you watch my other channel, you're going to see it. We'll watch my son's channel, Jerky Sauce Zero. He gives me a shout out all the time, but with Finn. But there you go. InverHouse. Give it a try. I think it's a really good scotch for the money. So, and it goes right with the title. Spend less, drink more. Thanks for watching. Cheers.
Cheers.
Again.